In this video, we're going to talk about the media library, as well as galleries and other images on your Showit site. So it all starts by uploading your images, which you're going to do right here in the top left-hand corner of the interface in your media library. So you'll see I already have a lot of photos in here, but if I wanted to add more, I could just drag and drop it from any folder on my computer. And you can also use the Upload Files button down here at the bottom. Showit can actually handle a lot of photos being uploaded at once, so feel free to upload in bulk. You'll just get a little tab up here next to My Files that'll let you know that it's uploading. And then once your files are in here, you can organize them into folders. And to do that, you can just highlight the images that you want to move to a folder, say move to folder, and then you can add a new one or choose one that's already there. For your images, you're going to want to use a JPEG file type most of the time. It'll keep your site loading quickly. And Showit will also do some resizing for you when you upload a JPEG image. However, whenever possible, we still recommend using a free online tool to downsize your images, because if you are using really high-res images, it doesn't always downsize them enough to keep your site running quickly. The only other file type that you might need is a PNG file if you need a transparent background on something such as a logo or an icon. All right, so let's talk about replacing images. So let's say you want to replace an image that's already on the page. I'm going to select this one right here. Whenever you select an image, it's going to pop up with some settings over here in the property panel on the right, and you can just click Swap Image. Now you're in your media library. You can select any new image that you want, and it will quickly replace it both on desktop and on mobile. And then you can undo, and it will go back to the old one. If you want to change the way that an image is cropped, you can use these settings over here on the right. By default, it's going to be set to fill, which means that it's going to fill the size of the box and it's going to crop any excess at the top and bottom or the left and right, depending on the dimensions. So you can use this position setting by going up or down to move it to a different position in that box. The other one that you might want to use is called scale. So this allows you to crop in on something within the image. So if I change that to scale and then I enter a percentage, I usually start with something like 125. It'll automatically zoom in, and then I could go in a little bit further if I want to get closer, or I can back off. And then once you have the zoom correct, then you can use these horizontal and vertical sliders again to move it exactly to where you want it within the text box. I would avoid using stretch as it will distort your image. And contain will keep the photo contained inside the space, which means that you may have space on the top and bottom depending on the dimensions. We also have photos that act as backgrounds, such as the one in the hero or top section of this template. So you'll see when I'm clicking on the photo, I'm not seeing any image properties over here, which means that this is actually a canvas background. So over on the right, I'm going to go down here to canvas background, and there I can see my image. So with these type of images, you actually might want to use a different image on desktop than mobile if the dimensions are very different. So you can see this is a really strong horizontal here, and this is a really strong vertical. In this case, the same image works okay, but if it doesn't, you can actually press these three buttons over here, so right next to where it says image, and you can say split mobile and desktop. And when you do that, it's going to let you choose a different image for both mobile and desktop, and it's going to let you have different settings for how it crops and positions within the canvas. So that can be really helpful just to make sure that things are showing up correctly on both views. You can also change the effect of the image, what happens when you scroll, and there are three options, and right here under scroll. So one is scroll with page, and it's just going to look absolutely normal, just like this, just like it looks in the builder. There's also fixed, which I will show you a preview of. The background sort of just stays fixed as everything else scrolls. And then there's a third option called parallax, where both the top and bottom layer sort of move in different directions or at different speeds. And that just adds, again, a little bit more interest and layering to your site. Last thing with images that are set as canvas backgrounds is that you can set the color of the background and then the opacity of the image. So right here I have this set to about 70. You can see if it's all the way up to 100%, the text gets a little bit hard to read. So it's nice to be able to bring it down just so it's readable, but then I don't want it to get so dark that the photo disappears. So that's where you can sort of find a happy medium. If I wanted this text to be dark, then I could change the color underneath to be a lighter color, and then you can see that a dark text would be more readable there. Okay, so let's talk about editing galleries. So when you select a gallery on the page, you should see this Gallery Images panel open up on the right. So you can see inside here in the first panel that it says Manage Images. You can open this up and it'll open the media library, but you can also manage the images from right here below. So you'll see all of the images that are in this gallery are listed right here. I can go in, change the title and description if I want to. That can be good for SEO. I can also just reorder them by dragging them in a different order, or I can remove certain images if I want to. In order to add any new images, I need to actually click on Manage Images. It's going to again show me all of the images over here on the right, and then I can click on any new ones that I want to add. Click this little button, it will add them here, and then if I want to remove any, I can just select it and this little delete button pops up right here. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about in this video is video. So there are two ways to use video on Showit. So the first way that you can use video in Showit is as a canvas background, just the same way that you would as a photo. So in this case, you can see over here just where we were changing the image when we were talking about using an image as a canvas background. Now there's an opportunity to change it into a video. You also can set a fallback image, which I recommend just in case for some reason the video won't load or someone has that functionality turned off. It won't be just a black background. The second way, which we'll go over in a minute, is to add a video that a visitor can actually play, pause, that has audio, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So this one that's used as a background, there are a couple of requirements. One, it can't have any audio. It must be uploaded into the Showit library, and it has to be under 8 megabytes. So we will link another resource below that you can use to downsize your video to that size if needed. But you can click on this anytime and then it will take you to any videos that you've uploaded. You'll have to go to the specific folder that your videos are in to be able to swap them out. And then you can, again, hit preview and see how everything looks with the video behind your content, since the video won't actually preview in the builder. Okay, so here's an example on our site where we have videos that we actually want the visitor to be able to play, pause, listen to. You have to upload these either to Vimeo or YouTube. So you can't actually upload these directly to Showit. So when you want to add a new one, you can go down here to the bottom, this little tool, and you can click video. It'll put a blank box in here and then it'll give you an option to add Vimeo or YouTube. You would either put your Vimeo ID in from the video that you uploaded to Vimeo, or you would put your YouTube ID in here. And then there's a few settings that you can set as well. So once this is embedded on your site or placed on your site, then a user would be able to just interact with it like a normal video on YouTube. All right, so that was photos, videos, and galleries. Hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in another video.